Hello and welcome to the latest edition of the New Haven Independent Vlog News Summary direct from our newsroom, otherwise known as my Compost Heap. Let's see what stories we're working on this week. Oh boy, we're going to need this plunger, because our sewer authority, the Water Pollution Control Authority, has quite a mess that needs to be plunged out and see what's really going on in the muck. Now, we've been reading about Wall Street and the big bailout. They're talking about $700 billion at last count. One of the issues people have been bringing up in that is, are we just going to let the executives who did a lousy job running those Wall Street firms get bailed out with our money, using our money, then walk home with yet more huge bonuses? Well, we have a similar situation with our Water Pollution Control Authority. Our rate money that we pay for flushing our toilets pays for that authority. It's supposed to be public. The guy who ran that place, Dominic Gangi, just left, and we don't know why. They kept it very hush-hush. And it became clear when I talked to the head of the board last week that he must have gotten some kind of financial arrangement, because they're taking their time finding a replacement. He said we have contractual obligations and revenue obligations based on that agreement that he signed when he left. But they won't tell us what the agreement is, even though they're a public agency. Now, he makes already $179,400 a year. He left mid-contract without a reason why or without an apparent other job to go to, but they won't tell us how much severance he got, how big was his parachute. They should tell us, because that's our money. And you know what? This is the same agency, right, that has been going on a tear for closing on people's homes for not paying their bills if they're in tough times. One person, an immigrant who lives on Dixell Avenue, they went after her home and she owed $793 in back fees, and they wanted to take her home away. They've been exacerbating our crisis with the foreclosure. Now they won't tell us what kind of parachute they might be giving to a guy who was obviously pushed out midway for doing a lousy job. You know what, talking about this foreclosure crisis, Judge DeMayo, Anthony DeMayo here in New Haven, he oversees a lot of these proceedings with foreclosures. He told us in an interview a few weeks ago, he wishes in some cases he could step in with some of these out-of-town greedy lenders who are fleecing people and now are taking back the homes. He wishes he could help some of these people stay in their homes, but his hands are tied as a judge. One of the provisions in the foreclosure bill is to let judges like that, the bailout bill that's being talked about in Congress, to let judges like Judge DeMayo have more flexibility, which is a good thing. As he points out, you don't want to let everybody just stay, because some of the people being foreclosed on are not sob stories. They were speculators who were gaming the system, especially property in poor neighborhoods, going for the quick buck and leaving the neighborhoods worse than they were before with shell companies. And some of them were people who were knowingly signing on to fraudulent loans. But some of the people were fleeced or just hit hard times. We'd like to see them get that flexibility. What else are we working on? Check this out, the McCowan News. While Wall Street is going to seed, here in the New Haven area, the McCowan apples are ripe and ready. Every year for 1 month around this time of year, it's a joy when those apples come off the tree and they're ready. You can only get them around here. They're local. They don't get shipped in from New Zealand. They're right there in Brantford or towns like that, Guilford. We get them in our stores, and it's great for the season. This year the timing is great. They're just now, the tart sweet apples are just now ready, the McCowans. They're only good for about a month, and they're getting ready this week just as two festivals are taking place. Here, we Jews are celebrating the Jewish New Year, Rosh Hashanah, and to do that, starting sundown Monday for 2 days, at our meals, we cut up the apples, dip them in honey, and wish you a happy and sweet New Year. And meanwhile, Ramadan, the month-long fast for Muslim families, that's ending at around the same time. There's going to be a big feast in New Haven, and now they have something special to add to their bounty as well. So I'm wishing you a happy and sweet New Year here from the Independent. This is the New Haven Independent Vlog News Summary. Remember, always pick up your trash and eat your